In today's matchup, we have Berserker mode Godzilla versus the male and female Muto. So to start this off, what do I mean by Berserker mode Godzilla? Many of you probably already know, we've discussed this in the live streams and other videos. It is basically the most deadly, ferocious version of Godzilla that we've ever seen. And specifically, it is when Godzilla appears in round 3 of the fight against Kong. This is what I call Berserker mode Godzilla. You could argue was seen in the entire Godzilla vs. Kong movie, even when he comes out from the battleship, showing the same tenacity. You could argue that, but in particular, I really think the Berserker mode Godzilla is the one we see in round 3 of the fight against Kong, the most powerful Godzilla ever, and is the same character that we've seen in the 2014-2019 movies, but in particular, this Godzilla is the most deadly easily. But basically, in this matchup, Godzilla comes into battle the same height as before, 393 feet tall, 119 meters. The male and female Muto come into this battle. The male Muto standing at 200 feet tall, 61 meters. And the female Muto standing at 300 feet tall and 91 meters. The weapons that Godzilla comes into battle with, the claws, the tail, the bite, the atomic breath, obviously, but also being able to crawl on all fours and using these abilities to their full potential. The male and female Muto have the sharp arms and the sharp bite, while the male Muto has the EMP blast still and the ability of flight. But as far as what these creatures did, their feats, Godzilla Berserker mode, like I said, you could argue was the whole movie when Godzilla was Berserker mode, but in particular it was round 3, is when he started fighting Kong. Kong surprised him. He swung Kong around, started biting him, scratching him, swinging him around like crazy, stomping on his chest, and scratches his chest open, and then stomps on his chest and just really ultimately kills Kong in that scene. Now the male and female Muto, what have they done? We've seen in the movie that Godzilla was able to take down each of these individually, was able to take down the male and female Muto individually, but together they were able to beat Godzilla. But let's break this down. Basically, we already saw this matchup. We already saw Godzilla versus male and female Muto. It could have been the weakest version of Godzilla. You could argue that the 2019 version in King of the Monsters could have beat the male and female Muto as well, but the Berserker mode Godzilla versus the male and female Muto would be a completely different matchup. So basically in this matchup, Godzilla has the size, the feats, and the durability, while the male and female Muto have the numbers, obviously there's 2 of them, and the speed and agility still, because the male Muto can't fly, and they're 2 different creatures that can cover a lot of ground. Since we've already seen this matchup, I don't really need to break down too much. Here's how this would go down. If this were to go down the same way as the last movie, Godzilla lines up with the female Muto, they would charge, and Godzilla would not only be able to win that charge again, but would be able to throw the female Muto around, scratch her up, step on her, and very similar to the way he did in that movie, actually, but with a lot more tenacity, and would be able to throw her around a lot more. And then when the male Muto flies in, with how quickly, with the anger that Godzilla was showing, he'd be able to swing around the male Muto immediately with that just insane tenacity, the ability to use the atomic breath way faster and way more than before. This matchup would just be completely different. And in my opinion, since we already saw this matchup, I think that Berserker mode Godzilla would shred the male and female Muto no problem with how crazy powerful he was in that movie. If he was able to access that same kind of anger in a fight against these two, there would just be no competition. Even if there's 2 of them, I think there's a chance they could still get some hits off and maybe hit the gills. But with how angry Godzilla was, I just am convinced that Godzilla will be able to swing them around so quickly and be able to land a bite or scratch on the other Muto in that time, as well as using the atomic breath way more to just finish them in the end. If they were able to meet again, these 2 Mutos and Godzilla, Berserker mode, I do think Godzilla Berserker mode would win in the end. But make sure you let me know down below who you think will win in this matchup, and which matchup I should do next. I don't think there'll be a live stream this week. I will let you know more in a discussion post. As of right now, I don't think I'm having a live stream. I have a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully I have another upload before the end of the week. But make sure you stay tuned and let me know down below what you want to see in the next video. And thanks for watching.